Hey, before the video starts, I really want to state that apparently I completely forgot that my recording mic, that one, I left it right next to my mouse and my keyboard. So you'll be hearing that the entire video. I apologize ahead of time. And I really do need to get a new mic because it makes me sound nasally. Makes me sound like I'm sick. I'm not sick. And that gets on my nerves. So I apologize ahead of time. Once again, not like I have any money to get all this stuff, so we're dealing with what we're working with what we can. Hey, this is yours truly again, and I just felt like doing a video, basically going through some of the cheapest firearms in this game and seeing which ones I thought would arguably be best for, starting off. Because if we look at a lot of these weapons, when you only start with like $5,000, a lot of these are quite expensive. Now you can see I have almost 200,000 here, but let's say that's $5,000. A lot of these immediately take half your money out. Now they do actually start you off with a few AK-74s. These are extremely cheap, relatively speaking, and are $15.70 a piece. Now, of course, you can go one step lower and get the AK-74U for $50 less. Or you can save up and buy a cool M4A1, which is a lot more adaptable, but now you're paying basically 2 times the price. And if you look at all these weapons, the cheapest ones you can get is a assault rifle, is an AKS-74U. Now, if we continue to go, we will also notice that then there's some cheaper ones. The Glock 19 is $900, but using 9x19 and you only have 20-ish rounds. Or you could go to the MP5 for $1030, which has 900 RPM, but good luck, because if you miss, well, there goes all your ammo. I personally use the MP5 SD because it is, well, it's only $40 more expensive, and it's suppressed. And of course, I can't get one in real life, so why wouldn't I? You can always go for the new QBZ-97, but that has a lot less attachment points compared to all of these other rifles. The Norinco pistol is not good. Well, not bad, but not great. It is relatively good, speaking for starting off, but it's a pistol once again. No good sustained fire rate. Now, if you want a median between the MP5, I feel, you go for this, as it has a RPM of 600 or 700. Meaning, it is a lot more affordable, both monetarily, and it's also more sustainable when it comes to fire rate. You're not mag dumping and immediately missing all your rounds. However, I personally went for, when I started the game, the tried and true SKS. I bought an SKS, and it's $1060, so it's not extremely expensive, but it is basically the most neutered gun in the game, besides next to a pistol, as you only have about an RPM of 30 per minute, so you can crank at 30 rounds a minute, and you have a 10 round internal magazine right here, 10 rounds. But I used it because it hits like a truck, and it was extremely accurate. Accuracy speaking, is extremely accurate. That's 0.75 MRAD. Well, if you go to maybe, let's say the Colt M4A1, you have 1 of 1 MRAD. So, significantly less accurate. Once again, this comes with a 30 round detachable magazine, or 20 round. So I wanted to go through why I felt that, of all guns, the SKS would arguably be the worst for starting off with, and to explain which ones I felt were actually better. So, for start, once again, this one's unloaded, and it holds 10 rounds, as you can see. And let's just go through the reload. I want you to experience the reload 1-to-1. I'm not going to speed it up, I'm not going to do anything. See? Empty, nothing's happening, and let's reload it. Now, as you can see, that was an incredibly slow reload for only 10 rounds. Meanwhile, if I have something like the Colt M4A1, this is the full reload for 20 rounds. This is the cheapest option I can make it. That's 20 rounds, fully loaded, in the chamber. This, only 10. And while this one is arguably 3 times the cost, it does its job almost just as well. However, it is 1 MRAD, so you are a little less accurate. But if you compare recoil between these, this one has an incredibly predictable pattern, while this one has a lot more visual recoil. Good luck. Full down, and we're at 10 shots, so don't miss. And then we go up to the other guns. Now, actually, I should show it. So you do lose around 2/3 of your value when you buy a gun. So as you can see, that's 400 loaded. This is almost 1,000 loaded. But if we go and switch these out for the other extremely cheap options, which would be the PP19 and the MP5. Now I have to remove the sights on that one. And the AK-74. Now I have the AK-74M because you actually start off with it. I'll remove the sights off this so it's a fair. So once again, this one costs $1,500. It's in 9x19, the cheapest cartridge in the game, at a whopping $120 a bullet. To give you a hint how cheap this is 338 Lapua. I was using that last video at $2,000 for 60 bullets. Meanwhile, if I go to 9mm, $120 for 60 rounds. This is a 30 round mag. I would also show you the reload to compare it. So, this is nothing in the chamber. Let's fully reload. So, and let's switch to, and let's see the fire rate. We can switch to semi. So a more sustainable fire rate. Now let's compare it to the MP5 SD. Of course, I have the full stock on it, so it's slightly different. Incredibly predictable recoil. You see it's a little bit up to the right. 30 round magazine, as you can see. You can switch it to burst, thing, or semi-automatic. However, I keep it full usually just hip fire due to how cheap the ammo is. And I thought that the AK-74M would also be a good demonstration of firepower, mostly because it's extremely cheap, relatively speaking. So why wouldn't I show it off? So let's show this off. You spawn in with, I believe, three of these, and this one I fully disassembled to make it as cheap as I could. So once again, you have fully automatic and semi-automatic. Significant recoil, but still quite controllable. And this one only costs around $1,600. Now with this one, since I disassembled it, I also cut off around $150 worth of parts. And with that $150, I can actually stick on a $300 suppressor. So for the same cost as basically this, a little under it, you can have a suppressed AK-74 that has an extremely low amount of recoil. This is me not pulling down with my mouse, aiming down sights and firing. Extremely predictable. So, in my honest opinion, one of the best rifles for starting out is this one. First of all, due to how cheap it is and how common the ammunition is. It's a good medium rifle, but also I feel this one is incredibly good. Although it's not a rifle, it is a submachine gun, due to the fact that it has an incredibly high fire rate. So if you round a corner, you got the bang to back up a lower power. You got to fire it. So if you round the corner, let's say some guys around here, it's over. 3 bullets in, they're over. That's all you need to take them down. Whereas this one, with the SKS, you probably need around 2 bullets. It doesn't sound like a big difference, but in reality, it's a huge difference because now you're firing 2 rounds of a semi-automatic rifle, of which you only have 10 rounds. So if you miss, you know, it's over. It's over for you. So I just felt like sharing that for the most part. And as for the SKS, you can actually upgrade it and make it a little better. So I should mention that. So this one has a dovetail, as you can see on the side, but this was my go-to SKS for sniping. Very simple and very effective. An OKP7 with a dovetail on the left side, as you can see it. That little stuff sticking out. And a polymer stock with a suppressor on the top. The suppressor helps make the gun more controllable and easier to predict the rounds that are going to go down range outside. So with this open sight, it makes controlling recoil a lot easier. So to flick around and snipe both in close quarters and at long ranges more effectively. Now, of course, you can always upgrade the SKS to be an actually viable platform. So I will go to the attachments category, and as you see, here's the suppressor have. Now you can change the chassis, but that's a $1,300 chassis. And of course, you can put a bigger mag on it. This is a bigger internal mag for 20 rounds. $860. Now this is a magazine, a removable magazine for the SKS at $1,400. $1,400. The Monte Carlo here, the one I have on mine right now, is $750. Now, why the devs did this is beyond me, as you can buy a Monte Carlo in real life for around $70. You can buy one of these mags anywhere for around $10. And this one I actually could find for sale for $80. So, why this is exactly $1,400 for a single magazine, I am confused, to say the least, put it nicely. With all that money you could put towards kitting out that gun, you could quite literally build something like this. This would cost similar amounts to a fully kitted out SKS. 5.56 EO-Tech with a magnifier, along with a lot of other attachments. So you can see a laser at the top there. Actually, that's a flashlight. Yep. So turn on the flashlight. I can actually turn on 2 flashlights because I have them both mounted. Apologies, my middle mouse is broken, but here we go. So I usually use a magnifier no matter where I go, because I like to zoom in so I can just get precise shots on my targets. Once again, that is probably a $7,000 gun, which would cost about as much as 3 of these. And it's probably more effective than 3 of them. I'm going to give you a hint. You could buy one of these for the same amount as a full kitted out SKS. And this one is an absolute nightmare. That 2 taps anything, it's fully automatic. Or you can make one of these. This is one of my personal favorites, and it made me several great runs due to how cheap it was to make. It was good for close and long range, as if I rounded a corner, I can just quick fire with a slow recoil or slow fire rate and get whatever target I had to kill. So, that being stated, I do kind of want to show you the big difference between something like this, because you might go, oh, there's not much of a difference between, you know, this old rifle right here and this modernized rifle and this old rifle right here. So I'm gonna go into a raid and show you the big difference I feel there is. Once again, this is the sights, and this is the sights in the recoil for this one. Big difference. Once again, you can see my two pretty SKSs on my chest. Here we are, just jumping into the raid. Let's go in first general direction we see. Let's try and hit some enemies with this. See, let's try and plink them with our fully modified SKS. Because again, this SKS is worth basically 4 of those other SKSs.
Enemy spotted!
Now, let's try this one.
Enemies in the area!
Target acquisition is significantly harder, but you can still do it. And once again, the reload comes up. Of course, with an SKS,
Spotted enemy!
you can usually rapidly replace it with the weapon you got off of your enemies. So, like right here, I could replace it with this guy's rifle. After I'm done loading it. Come on, today. So I could replace it with this AK-12 right here. It's fully loaded. But I won't for just the video. Let's try this one out. Once again, most guns in this game are incredibly good if you get the jump on your enemy. So I feel like this is an unfair comparison. Let the ego spread. Ooh, that's good. When did I forget I had one in my inventory? I did. But once again, you've seen the big problem. The big problem that has been of, like, you can't rapidly see your targets and shoot them. You gotta guess. Especially at nighttime. Can you see the front sight here? My monitor's at full brightness, and I'm an inch away from my screen, and I can barely see it. Actually, I can't see it. I can see the notch where it is supposed to be, but I can't see it. With this, I can. And that was with basically $1,000 of modifications.
The bastard's in my sights!
Thankfully in this game. Like, do you think I would have been able to see him there with no iron sights? I wouldn't have. Ooh. Comes a pre-suppressor. How nice of him. But adding optics in this game is an incredibly smart idea, and you should do it. But the issue, since this one doesn't have any Picatinny rails, or anything really else to put it on, there's really no point to it. I guess you have this incredibly high accuracy. But like, there's nothing else really to it. I mean, let's get a look at this reload. He's gonna run the corner and I'm still loading this thing. I can legit see him walking around the corner. Oh, what the fuck? Like, I can't see him at all. Let's try with this one.
Dead body at my location. Report to command.
That one's not right.
Enemy spotted!
Oh my god.
Taking hits! Need...
But that's one of the good things about this gun is that
Hostile taking hit!
it at least 2 taps. And I wouldn't have been able to hit those shots right there.
Oh
my god.
Body found in the area.
I wouldn't be able to hit those shots without those sights. Come on, load, come on, load. There's 2 more coming.
Hostile hit!
Oh my god.
We have a body here. Looks like a fatality. Dead body located. Proceed with caution.
Oh, okay. Oh my god. Once again, the loading comes into the cat. That just loot.
Dead body at my location. Report to command.
Oh my god, how many of them are there? We lost half our ammo because I was glitched out.
Enemy spotted!
Oh my god. That's
We have a
dude.
body here. Looks like a fatality. Enemy detected! Engaging! I'm injured! Cover me!
Oh my god, oh my god. We're running out of ammo. One more round. Then we're gonna run it. We're gonna limb up. So once again, best part about this gun is the T-taps. Basically, no matter where you hit. And look at all the bodies. Oh my god. Oh my god. Why is there so many corpses? I got a phone. Oh my god.
Enemy detected! Engage!
Ooh. Run away! Run away! Zigzag!
Taking heavy fire!
So once again, it turns every... This guy turns every single firefight into a panic situation. Just my odds of winning any of them is borderline 0. Also, I have the jump. Once again, 10 rounds I have to manually load. I did forget I have this, but I forgot to put away. This Glock's worth like $5,000. Let's see, maybe we killed solely just with SKS's. My guy's panicking. So we killed 25 of them solely with SKS's. And we made $91,000.
Body found. We've got a confirmed KIA.
And just with that, we made probably around around 40,000-ish. So hopefully that answers your question. Is it worth your time or is it not worth your time? Because to me, it's not. It's not really worth my time. Because once again, after this raid was finished, I have already found a replacement for it. I found basically what is in here? But I'd found a lot of new fully automatic weapons. I don't know where my other guns went. I just clicked control and hoping that it stored them, but I don't see them. But after all that, I made so much money. I'm not really worried about it. Like I can buy one of these for all I care, but I won't. Instead, I'll just hoard my money. So in my opinion, the SKS is really good due to the fact it 2-taps. But you need to take into account once again that you really do need to put an optic on it. So like, if once you're doing at right daytime like this right now, like if we go to somewhere dark and we just point, you won't be able to see the front side. You can see it right now, but at nighttime, it immediately goes out the window. It also just helps with target acquisition. So I recommend it, but only if you put. Let me get the attachments out for everyone to see. Actually, I can't take the attachments out. Okay, or for at least bare minimum use, I would expect a lot like this. Don't need a suppressor necessarily on it, but the attachments are. Let me put it down here for you. Attachments are a Tula dovetail with a OKP7 on top. It's a really good reticle. So, but what I did pick up a lot of, for the calibrate, is I did pick up a lot of 7.62 by 39. I found a lot on the floor. I did find a spare stock for an SKS. So we have that going for us. And I did find a fully kitted out PP19.